So today in World of Warcraft, we did get the small patch that now made Demon Hunters available to people who pre-ordered. It gave us the Broken Shore scenario. It has invasions all over the world and that sort of thing. So in preparation for the upcoming launch of Legion, I wanted to do a little bit different video today. I wanted to appeal to our nostalgia and take a trip back to classic World of Warcraft. This video will cover all the awesome things about the original game that I remember that made us fall in love with it. Next week, I'll release sort of a counter video talking about the things in Vanilla WoW that were not so great that have since changed and improved the game along the way. So for those of you that have played on classic servers, a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about might feel fresh to you, but for me, it took a lot of digging through old screenshots and forum posts and my memory banks to remember all of this stuff. Awesomely, I still have a ton of my original screenshots from classic WoW, still in the original TGA format, and I'm going to play those for you throughout the video so you can see them as well. So without further ado, let's talk about the things that made classic WoW amazing. So the biggest thing about WoW was that the game was about the whole world. It was not just about the end game. There was a good sense of achievement. Although WoW was supposed to be a casual game in comparison to its competitors like EverQuest, it still had a lot of things that required hard work and grinding, and a lot of things took a very long time to get. This meant that getting those things truly felt like an accomplishment and something of note. For example, getting the level was a real accomplishment. It wasn't just one step on the way to the level cap where the real game started. Mounts were very expensive and hard to get. You got your slowest mount at level 40, and it was 100 gold, which was a lot of gold back then, for both the mount and the training. You got your fast mount at level 60. Remember, this is the level cap, for 1,000 gold for the mount and training. It was actually very prestigious if you had epic riding, because many people could not afford it, myself included. I didn't get my epic mount until Burning Crusade. Even though I had 2 epic PvP mounts in my bank, I couldn't afford the training for them. Epic armor felt genuinely epic. You could really only get epics through raiding and some high-level crafting. Many raid bosses even dropped blues. It was not uncommon to see people raiding in greens. Most people had a mix of greens, blues, and maybe 1 or 2 epics. I remember getting my first epic as a result because it was such a big deal back then. It was the eye patch from Gaz, the Hydra boss in Zul'Gurub. I also remember my first weapon, which was the Fang of the Faceless, which dropped from the last boss of the instance. So I cleared the whole instance and farmed the last boss, still wearing mostly blues. Raiding was special in a lot of ways besides just being the one path to epics. Kills also felt like a real accomplishment. The early bosses were not just speed bumps on the way to the final boss. They often took weeks or months to get those killed for average skilled raids. The community in Classic WoW is also another really big positive of the game. Because you were operating only with your server, the community was much more tight-knit. You'd recognize people out in the world, reputations mattered, both individuals and on a guild level, and there were repercussions for bad behavior. The WoW PvP community was also very small because you only played with your own server. One of my fondest memories is standing around Orgrimmar and having a guy come up to me and saying, "Hey, wasn't that a great match yesterday?" because he recognized me and remembered me. You would see the same people over and over again, and so they would develop a reputation. You would know whether to be excited or intimidated or even scared to play with them or have them on your team. There was also epic world PvP. It wasn't just ganking and skirmishes like there is now. There would be huge epic battles at Salshore and Terran Mill and also at the Crossroads. I would go as a low-level healer and I would just res and heal the high-level players because I couldn't kill anyone. Another one of my favorite memories is from the Crossroads. There's a female orc warrior there named Sergra Darkthorn who had a very devastating whirlwind, and if the Alliance aggroed her, she could almost wipe their raid. So I would often try to kite people into her so she would pull and help us defend our town. People also fondly remember the epic battles at Alterac Valley because they would last for days, and you could also summon mobs and do all sorts of things that don't happen now with the Zerg method that most people play by. There was also twinks, which weren't just a matter of putting on heirlooms. A lot of people don't have positive memories of twinks, but I do because my husband and I, for example, we had twinks parked at level 39, which is before most people had mounts. I would be a shaman and he would be a druid, which means we had travel form, and we would run the flag in Warsong Gulch and people could never catch us. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Classic WoW experience is, and thank you for watching.